welcome back to Metal Gear Solid 5. This is part 18. Last time, we recovered the AI pod, and then found out that there was a dead body in there, and that it was Strangelove, and that Huey is the prime suspect, because he keeps changing his story about how she ended up in there. Which is such a shame that we didn't get to see Strangelove in the Fox engine and her to make a return. Raises the question, where the hell is his child? Where's Hal? Don't even know. We also learnt that the body, the man on fire that we recovered, belongs to a certain Mr. Volgin from Metal Gear Solid 3. His rage and need for revenge has kept him alive all this time, and now we have him in quarantine on Mother Base. Pretty action-packed. Pretty ridiculous. Also, right at the end, we had the situation with the necklace falling down, which I believe Eli has again done another thing where Eli threw it down there and then intimidated the other kids from a distance, and Quiet jumped in and retrieved it, and she looked a bit worse for wear, but as we can see, Quiet's with me on the helicopter just fine, still being my buddy, so I guess she has now recovered, even though she wasn't on the medical platform in her cell. So I feel like technically from like a story perspective she's recovering, but if you have her set as your buddy, she's still in the helicopter with us, which is very curious. So she's fine, I guess. We're going to start this episode off with the cassette tapes that we had from last episode. So again, we've got a lot more of the tapes to get through with Code Talker and his research. Much more on ethnic cleansing and vocal cord parasites. And then we've got more on Skullface's objective, which is a secret recording between him and Code Talker. So I'm going to let that one go now, and we will take a listen to these tapes.
I have no doubt Skullface's plan is almost complete. At that point, I will no longer be of use to him. I must leave behind this record at least. A record of how the ancient vocal cord parasites became these abominable ethnic cleansing parasites. I believe he has two purposes for the ethnic cleansing parasites. The first, as their name suggests, is ethnic cleansing. This conflict between East and West that envelops the world will not last much longer. Once the Cold War ends, and the weight of America and the Soviet Union is lifted away, the ethnic conflicts they kept suppressed will all rise to the surface. It is not difficult to imagine that the radical sides will begin cleansing their adversaries. But what if an ethnic cleansing parasite matching the language of the aggressors were to be unleashed? The aggressors would be washed off the earth. At the very least, the idea that retaliation could eradicate your people would prove a powerful deterrent. The second purpose is the Englishization of the world. To cipher the organization, this is probably their main use. Man thinks in words, or rather, words are man's very means of thinking. If you erase a word representing some concept, the concept itself disappears from the world. Nishone means beautiful in Navajo, but the image that comes to mind when we say Nishone differs from the Blagana's beautiful. An azure sky, a rolling landscape, lush greenery. The meaning we place in Nishone has its roots in Dene culture. If we lose the word Nishone, the images of our beautiful homeland would be washed away into oblivion along with it, just as Orwell indicated years ago. Cipher, being based in America, is pushing Englishization for this very reason. Suppose all 5 billion people on this planet come to read, speak, and think in English. Their wills could also be streamlined under English. Cypher's control would be all the easier. Economic governance would progress in leaps and bounds. The ethnic cleansing parasites would be a great aid in accomplishing this goal. There is no need to destroy every language besides English. All they need to do is weaken other dominant languages competing with it. Russian, Chinese, Arabic. If people know they risk their lives speaking such languages, they will flock to the lingua franca that is English. Cypher need not even focus attention on smaller languages. After all, they are already being eaten away by English. Business, education, film, commodities. English has permeated every area of global society. I can see this when I look at young Dene. Some of them have already lost their grasp of the Navajo language. It is said that over 2,000 languages of the world are facing extinction. This very moment, cultural concepts and forms of expression are disappearing forever. The spread of electronic networks gives greater meaning to Englishization. Networks have no national borders. By basing them on a single language, they can penetrate deeper into and between people. That basic point of unity provides the ideal environment for someone who aims to control people's wills. But how does this differ from building the Tower of Babel? The ethnic cleansing parasites attempt to rob man of his words. Such irony. It was the vocal cord parasites that gave words to him in the first place. Ancient man had no language, unable to produce complex sounds due to the structure of the throat. He could communicate only through simple vocalizations and gestures. Then the vocal cord parasites infected his larynx. Man's transition to walking upright did not gift him solely with intelligence, but also with his voice. At the time, the vocal cord parasites never harmed man. They merely took a small measure of nourishment. In fact, you could call it a symbiotic relationship. Some animal species use particular vocalization patterns to attract a female and reproduce. Songbirds, certain insects, and also the vocal cord parasites. The difference is that the parasites themselves did not produce sounds. Rather, they had their hosts, man, do it for them. Once secure on the human host vocal cords, a male vocal cord parasite caused the host to produce a certain sound pattern, something like a warble of a bird. Meanwhile, females parasitizing other host pharynxes need only wait. Upon hearing the sound pattern of an attractive mate, they would manipulate their hosts into making contact with the person it came from. The female traveled through his host's saliva to the other host's vocal cords, where the male was waiting and the pair copulated. We can only imagine how the female manipulated his host, but it was probably through smell. Smells traveled directly to the limbic system via the olfactory cilia in the nasal cavity. Volatile compounds released by the female would stimulate the limbic system, which controls instincts, making the host feel amorous. This kind of sexual selection naturally led to competition between the male parasites. Males that had their hosts produce sounds perceived by females as more attractive succeeded in copulating and producing offspring. Evolutionary traits caused by sexual selection are curious. the peacock's feathers, the mannequin's dance, the firefly's luminescence pattern. Even with courtship behaviors that are not advantageous to survival, those individuals that excel in them produce offspring, and it escalates with each generation. The same was true of the vocal cord parasites. Courtship vocalization rhythms and intonations became more sophisticated, and in order for man to produce such sounds, they had to alter his vocal organs. By lowering the position of the larynx and developing resonating chambers, they enabled more complex pronunciations. But that was not all. The vocal cord parasites activated a transcription factor that would later control man's language ability. A protein that, due to its appearance, is called forkhead box protein P2, or FOXP2.
Vox!
Activating this transcription factor led to the development of brain function capable of creating sophisticated frequency changes. This was the pinnacle of the vocal cord parasite's prosperity. However, this sophisticated pronunciation control was too useful for man to ignore. Once human sexual activity ceased to be only seasonal, and having lost pigment-based sexual characteristics, distinctive vocalizations became the most effective means for humans to attract mates as well. Combined with logic pathways hardwired into the brain, or universal grammar, it was not long before advanced communication was possible. This was the birth of language. Luckily for man, it was around this time that a particular retrovirus was circulating. While not lethal, it infected not only man, but the vocal cord parasites as well. It is presumed that this virus removed part of the parasite's DNA and reverse transcribed it into man's reproductive cells. It was a factor. Among the genes it transcribed were the ones responsible for the production of language. The vocal cord parasite's vocalization genes were written into the human genome. The parasites were no longer of any use to man now. Man could use his voice as he pleased when he pleased, hindering the parasite's courtship vocalizations. Having lost their opportunity to reproduce, the parasites died out, leaving behind only the transcribed genes. The vocal cord parasites were once in symbiosis with man. Its genes even became a part of his. Humans and parasites are extremely close. As such, it will be extremely difficult for man's immune system to eliminate the vocal cord parasites. Even cutting them out will be no simple matter, which is exactly why these ethnic cleansing parasites are such a formidable weapon.
Parasites have been around since the beginning of time! I don't know, man, like, there's so much lore and attention given to the parasites. Like, they were like, not only are we going to establish the parasites as, like, a reason for, like, these things, and that's fine, we need to be, like, go full on into the history of the parasites, everything that they do, all of the ethnic cleansing, the different strains, like, everything. Like, there's just, like, he's going so deep, and not only is Kojima going so deep into it, what kind of bugs me is Code Talker talks so slow, and his tapes are the longest. And it's like, and it's just Code Talker talking at us, like, it's not a conversation, it's just Code Talker just talking about stuff. And this one's 5 minutes, and this one's 4 minutes, and that's 3 minutes, and it's just like, bro, oh brother. So forgive me, but we're absorbing all of the information. We'll get it out of the way at the beginning, and then once these tapes are out the way, we can get into replaying those missions. So we'll get all of it out of the way first, and then proceed. So let's get into Genesis of the Vocal Cords Parasite as well.
Rise of the vocal cord parasites goes back approximately 300 million years to the Permian period. At that time, they were not even parasites, but predatory autotrophs. They are believed to have been the common ancestor to the Pentastomida and the Cyclops genus of copepods. However, Earth's environment underwent a violent change at the end of the Permian period. The cause is unclear, but evidence suggests that over 90% of the Earth's organisms at that time died out. The most pronounced threat to the protoparasites was the severe reduction in oxygen concentration. The result was cladogenesis, a splitting that gave birth to a new strain that could parasitize other organisms' respiratory apparatus. This survival tactic helped lower their oxygen consumption, and inhabiting the throat kept them securely in contact with inhaled air. The best survivors were those that parasitized the reptiles that flourished at the time. Entering the Triassic period, the reptiles evolved into dinosaurs, and the protoparasites shared in their success. Dinosaurs developed respiratory organs called air sacs to adapt to the low oxygen environment. These in particular helped the protoparasites thrive. But another trial awaited them. The end of the Triassic period saw another drastic change in the Earth's environment. For most parasites, the male and female take the same host. Many are, in fact, hermaphrodites. Originally, the vocal cord parasites were as well. But for any strain to ride out a severe environmental change, it must secure a steady pool of genetic diversity. Another split. Now the newest strain procreated with mates found in other hosts. And in order to increase its encounters with those mates, the new strain utilized the voice of its host. They came to inhabit the host's vocal cords. This truly was the birth of the vocal cord parasite. The parasites developed the host's pharynx to form resonating chambers and used them to produce sophisticated mating calls. The relatively upright posture of the dinosaurs was important in this, because the crooked L-shaped pharynx was more suited to the development of resonating chambers. These developments ushered in a time of great prosperity for the parasites. But for the third time, the parasites had a major hurdle to overcome. The meteorite impact at the end of the Cretaceous period, which spelled the end of the dinosaurs. With their hosts extinct, the vocal cord parasites had no option but to find a new habitat. Birds. As genetic successors to the dinosaurs, with functioning air sac apparatus already in place, birds were the perfect choice. But the parasites could not survive in birds that flew at high altitudes with thinner air. So they parasitized ground-dwelling birds and altered their respiratory system for the sake of reproduction. They gave the birds the means to produce sophisticated sounds. The syrinx responsible for chirping. This is the proof that points to activation of FOXP2 in songbirds as well as humans. The Cenozoic era began with a rise in oxygen concentration, which helped mammals to evolve and increase in size. The parasites then shifted to humans as a more effective host. Humans' bipedal upright walking meant that our throats could support larger resonating chambers. At first, vocal cord parasites entered humans using birds as their intermediate host. But eventually they changed to conducting their entire life cycle within human hosts. What happened next is as I have already described. People took the vocalizing prowess given them by the parasites and made it language. And once the parasites could no longer use it as their mating call, they died out. Or in other words, the parasites overcame all evolutionary hurdles except humanity. Skullface shared his opinion on this matter. He said the Ethnic Cleansers Project was sure to succeed. After all, the parasites had a grudge against us humans. To think we awoke them after such a long slumber, just so they could sate their thirst for vengeance. It is terrible, unforgivable, and yet, it is what I have done.
What I think about this is like when you're listening to this and you're getting all this dialogue and all this word and you're just like, I have never... One thing that is really a positive and something to be attributed to Kojima is he's very wordy, a lot of dialogue, like a lot of that stuff, it goes very in depth on things, but it's just like this guy really just like doesn't hold back on explaining things and getting really deep and nitty gritty on stuff. And this stuff is like it's bonus. Like it's not mandatory to listen to this stuff. Like it's here if you wanna listen to it. But there's so much dialogue that is like it's written in a way that I have never experienced before. Like how deep it goes into like telling you about the history of things and how it relates to this game. Like Kojima has always done a really good job at blending like real world elements with his world of Metal Gear, whether it's been with like, you know, like nuclear stuff and the Cuban Missile Crisis to like real world events that influence the events of Metal Gear, or going into stuff like this where it gets on like a scientific level. It's just like it's very impressive in that regard, that I'm just like I wonder what everybody who's reading his dialogue as in like all the scripts thinks and feels about this, because they'll just be like, holy crap, I gotta read like something that I have never read before. Like just like it goes super in depth. Like I'd love some examples if there's anything like similar like this that you guys are aware of like writers or people that just really like get into the nitty gritty of all of the world that they create to really flesh it out. That's something that we can commend Kojima for sure. So now we'll go into Revival of the Vocal Cord Parasites.
I learned of the vocal cord parasite's existence in literature belonging to the Foundation. It was little more than a theory. The question was, why does only Homo sapiens among all primates have highly developed language? Human versus everything else. The missing link between these was the mystery that gave rise to this theory. I was fascinated by the idea of their existence. In the Dene creation myth, the Neyo Dene, who first inhabited the world, were insect-like creatures. I came to imagine that those insect-like creatures could be humans living in symbiosis with the vocal cord parasites. But I had not the faintest idea of how I could resurrect them. That is when Skullface came to me. What he offered me was not just assistance with my metallic archaea research. He told me the vocal cord parasites really existed. And not only did they exist, they had already been brought back to life in the modern age. An ancient human cadaver, host to the parasites of the time. Cypher excavated such a cadaver from a permafrost region and isolated the DNA coding of the vocal cord parasites. Naturally, they were long dead and could not be brought back, but there was an alternate vessel they could use. A relative species of the Pentastomida discovered in China. It had adapted to live in the nasal cavity of animal hosts, but its genetic sequence showed signs of common ancestry with the vocal cord parasites. Ontogenesis, the path of an organism to maturity, is like a roadmap of the phylogenetic evolution of the entire strain. Cypher used this to effect a reverse evolution of the modern parasite and resurrect the vocal cord parasites. They interposed a developmental mechanism to the ontogenetic stage analogous to when the relative species first appeared, the point at which it split from the vocal cord parasites, forcing its evolution down the other path, the vocal cord parasite path. The larvae this produced by the vocal cord parasites, reborn. I do not know in detail how Cypher accomplished this, but clearly they have access to high-level genetic technologies. Skullface said it was the work of a genius woman scientist, and that the relative species in question was first discovered by a group once called the Philosophers. I was tasked with modifying the resurrected parasites. He charged me with 2 demands. First, to add lethality to these organisms that had once lived in peace with man, by unleashing the larvae's latent desire to consume nutrients from the host's lung tissue, making them eat and eat until the lungs were destroyed. Second, to have both male and female inhabit the same host and copulate then and there, only when exposed to specific pronunciations continuously over an extended time. What he would do to the Dene if I failed. I had no choice.
One of my favorite things about Code Talker is how he says Dene. Like, everything else he, like, talks, and then as soon as he gets to Dene, it's, like, so satisfying to hear him say.
Originally, the ultimate objective of the ethnic cleansing parasite project was the identification of not only languages, but of actual cultures. Language is deeply connected to ethnicity, but many languages are employed by multiple ethnic groups, and confrontation between those ethnic groups is by no means rare. If the cleanser parasites were to be a deterrent against ethnic conflict, they had to distinguish between groups using means other than pure language. The original plan called for this to be achieved by differences in the transmission vector. Each ethnic group has different lifestyle customs and eating habits. For instance, parasites living in shallow water and taken in through the skin could be used to target rice farming groups, or parasites using cows as their intermediate host would be ineffective against cultures that abstain from eating beef. But that is a lofty goal indeed. The current parasites mainly rely on droplet transmission. It would take extensive time to alter the transmission route. I eventually learned that the Ethnic Cleansers project had been shut down. It was Skullface who put it back into operation. But despite that, he told me to forget about the transmission route and just focus on language identification. I do not know why. I understand that the Chinese philosophers who discovered the relative species of parasite originally planned to develop a phonogrammic Alexia parasite. The left temporoparietal region is home to the part of the brain that identifies the phonetic symbols of the English language. They wished to create a strain that would parasitize that region and suppress its literacy functions. The brain area responsible for identifying the logographs of Chinese, meanwhile, is in the left middle frontal gyrus, meaning that even if native speakers of Chinese were infected with the parasite, the literacy would be unaffected. Old and new, east and west, there is no limit to the delusions of those in power. But this delusion threatens to become a reality. I have to do something to stop this. There must be something I can do.
Rogue Talker and his research completed for now, and now we check out a secret recording of Skullface and Code Talker.
Yeah,
If only this was a cutscene.
You disappoint me. Have you forgotten my face?
Leave me be.
You won't respond to anyone else, so I figured it must be me you wanted to see. But now you won't even look at me.
Have I not suffered enough?
Not until you've eased my suffering first. To tell you the truth, old man, I'm in a bit of a bind. It's about your children. You know what I mean? The parasites. The ones that infect a man's throat, killing him if he speaks their language.
Hello? Skullface, I can't hear you. Why the fuck are you so quiet? Also, something to point out here is, let's listen to Code Talker's voice, right?
I have no doubt Skullface's plan is almost complete.
Weather will clear
It's that sounds like it's being spoken to on a cassette tape.
At that point, I will no longer be of use to him.
It's got that like compressed audio quality that you'd listen to on like a tape, right? This is like his voice is clear, which is really interesting. Either they've got better recording equipment here, which doesn't make sense, or this is what I've seen some people mention, is that the game was, especially in Chapter 2, largely unfinished, and there were like things that were kind of left on the table before the Kojima and Konami split. So listening to this, I'm like, this feels like this is audio from a cutscene that did not end up being a cutscene. Especially with how crystal clear the voice is compared to the rest. I don't know why Skullface is so quiet. It's like he walked away from the and he's talking to him from outside the room. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear Skullface. It just seems really weird that he's quiet but Code Talker isn't. So he sounds close up here because now he says, "You disappoint me."
You disappoint me. Have you forgotten my face?
Leave me be.
You won't respond to anyone else, so I figured it must be me you wanted to see.
See, now the voice gets...
Now you won't even look at me.
Have I not suffered enough?
I can tell where he is as well, because that door opening noise, and then he's like walking to see Code Talker. Skullface and Code Talker would be in that basement of like that manor.
Not until you've eased my suffering first. To tell you the truth, old man, I'm in a bit of a bind. It's about your children. You know what I mean? The parasites. The ones that infect a man's throat, killing him if he speaks their language.
They must not be allowed to multiply.
You are allowed to live only in order to help me. But you don't want to, do you? So why not choose death instead? Because you want to protect the Digne and their land.
I know that the reason why Skullface is so quiet is because like it's a secret recording, so they've like adjusted his volume when he's like far away, but like I could probably buy into the reality that this could still be a secret recording and we'd still be able to hear him at a better volume.
Me. That's your purpose, isn't it? Don't lose sight of that now. It's in your interest to cooperate. Because if you don't...
Madness.
The parasites can't detect your people's tongue, so I'll just have to resort to more heavy-handed means. I have the greatest respect for your people. I would rather avoid such a thing, but we don't always get our way. I was born a tiny mote in a mighty tempest, and until those winds abate, all I can choose is how to act when they blow me this way or that. Tell me, Code Talker, what happens to a man infected with a pair of your parasites? Can they be removed? Can the full-blown symptoms be prevented?
It is impossible to remove the parasites alone. They have too close an affinity with humans.
Then how do you stop the symptoms from developing? All right. I was hoping for an answer now, but perhaps you just need a little more time. I'll be back soon. I've set up shop, not far from here. We'll be seeing a lot more of each other.
If you are close by, then it is almost complete.
We're in the final phases. All that's left is to see if I can actually disable a nuke, with the help of your metallic archaea. Once that's done, I won't have to return here again, and your suffering will end, as will your people's. We're almost finished, Code Talker, each in our own way.
My only regret will be not finishing you.
There's nothing stopping you. I'm only alive because you want me that way.
Ridiculous.
As you wish. My regret is this misunderstanding between us. You and I, our goal is the same. We should be working together. A symbiosis.
You do not know my mind. I simply want the Diné bloodline to endure.
Really now? You're just another mote in the storm. How you react to all the slings and arrows, that's what counts. That's why you call those squirming monsters your children.
What I have done is forbidden. Forgive me, all of you.
The world should be left the way it is. You of all men should know that.
And he leaves.
Forgive me, but my schedule has changed. The time for grace and good manners has now run out.
Please. Torture will not work on me. Surely you know this.
Oh, I have no intention of getting rough with you. You haven't been beaten. Your hands aren't even tied. Just like me, you live in symbiosis with countless parasites. What wounds I might inflict, they'll patch right up. You might feel considerable pain, but I've no doubt you can withstand it.
Then what do you plan on doing?
I have a soldier standing outside. Nothing special about him, except that he always obeys. I have given him one instruction. Whenever I ring this bell, he passes on a message for me. That message is simply, go.
What is this?
After that, though, it gets complicated. The message will arrive at a room, a little bigger than this one, nothing special. Some of your people are in this room, surrounded by my men.
Enough of this.
They pick them at random. No regard for age, gender. In that, I suppose, they're different from you. Not as discriminating. They tied them up, one by one, blindfolded them. We had to maintain order, you understand?
You bastard.
Go. When they hear that,
My men will pick one of your people and infect them with a parasite. Your parasite.
It won't work on my people.
True. The vocal cord parasite doesn't respond to your language. But what about English?
An English strain. It exists.
A ring of this bell, and they infect one person. If that person abandons the Navajo language, the English strain will trigger symptoms.
You monster.
So, it's quite simple. Every time I ring the bell, another of your people is infected.
Don't do this.
I don't want to do this. I'd rather not have to ring the bell, which is why I'm hoping you will talk to me.
What do you want? What else could you possibly want?
You know the answer to that. How to prevent the symptoms caused by the parasite.
You cannot control it like some slave. Forget the idea.
Forget it. Unlikely.
I will never tell you. What have you done,
You made me do that.
you black-hearted?
Settle down.
This was definitely supposed to be a cutscene.
That is up to you. All you need to do is tell me what I want. How to prevent the vocal cord parasite symptoms.
Why? Why do you need to know?
The adult soldiers at Bwala are all dead.
What?
The parasite traveled downstream.
How?
It would appear that he was involved. Another demon who woke up from 9 years of slumber. As a result, the vocal cord parasite spread through the village.
I told you this would happen.
It was an unfortunate accident. He is becoming an annoyance. He may stumble upon the truth sooner or later, but I suppose that is really of no consequence. He is becoming an... It was... As a result, another demon. It would appear that he... The parasite...
What?
The parasite traveled downstream.
How?
It would appear that he was involved. Another demon who woke up from 9 years of slumber.
As a result, the vocal cord parasite spread through the village.
I told you this would happen.
It was an unfortunate accident. He is becoming an annoyance. He may stumble upon the truth sooner or later, but I suppose that is really of no consequence. One day, he too will pay for what he has done.
Black Anna. The real demon is you.
You know, this incident made me realize something. You are right. I should have acted with more humility. These creatures cannot be controlled. All the more reason I require a means to stop them.
There is no such way.
Oh, really?
Wait! Don't ring it again.
It is up to you. Out with it!
I see now. There must be more to it than that.
What?
They are in you. You use this land to breed more of my children. And not just here. No. In pursuit of your ethnic cleansers. You sifted through many language strains. Finding hosts. Breeding more and more. You would have been infected in the process. Infected with countless strains. Most likely your mother tongues as well. Romania, Northern Transylvania. You found that one too. Yes, the Hungarian strain. That responds to the CK's dialect.
Silence!
Black Anna. It is you who shall pay.
Is
this your retaliation, old man?
Let my people go and never bother them again. You heard me. What now? What? No! What are you doing?
I am not afraid. I probably have every language strain inside of me. Meaning all the world's languages are already lost to me. But that suits me fine. If need be, I myself can produce whatever strain is needed.
And that means nothing to you. If you are infected, you can never again speak your mother tongue. Otherwise, you will die. As will every one of your countrymen.
A few words here and there won't trigger the symptoms. And besides, the time is not yet right to show this face in my homeland. Not until my revenge is complete. Now...
Stop!
We're out of time. I have to get going. Well...
No! Radiation. It's radiation.
Radiation, of course. So it can be used.
But how much? I do not know.
Radiation denatures their reproductive cells, preventing them from mating.
Same principle as the sterilization technique. The reproductive cells are more sensitive to radiation than the rest of the body. But I have not tested it. There is no telling what mutation could result, or how the host may be affected. Not to mention what could happen if this is done post-infection.
I don't care. This plan goes into action now. As long as it works, the details can wait. You wouldn't be lying to me, of course, old man.
I can guarantee nothing.
I owe you my life. My body has been burned on countless occasions, but it survives, thanks to your children. That is why I trust you.
Then do not repeat my mistake.
What's that?
In the West, it is said that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. In the East, it is said the man of flesh brings spiritual power to words. The people knew back then that these creatures carry the gospel. They do not belong in our hands. They must not be touched.
How enlightening. I'll remember that. Consider this my thanks.
What are you?
Catch.
No!
Well then, I'm afraid it really is goodbye this time, Code Talker.
There is no soldier.
Huh. Now where did he run off to? Guess he wasn't as obedient as I thought.
There never was any soldier.
So long.
You! How dare you!
Wow. Psychological warfare right there between Skullface and Code Talker. Jesus Christ. Alright. We've made it through the cassette tapes. The longest ones so far and the biggest session. So what I have to get into is we've got 3 missions that are replays. And we've also got... Wandering puppets. Eliminate the wandering puppet soldiers. Despite being freed of the skull's control, it seems their sanity is gone for good. So we've got that. We've also got another mother base soldier to get as well. So I'll probably get these first. So I'll jump into these. Get these dudes. We can check in with Paz with a new photo, and then see how we go from there. Alright, we're getting ready to extract one of the wandering skull puppets. We've got Quiet along with us for the ride, so Quiet can still be deployed with us as a buddy, which is all good. So she's fine. She didn't. It's almost as if she didn't even jump into the acid. Didn't even affect her. Not into the acid, you know what I mean? Like acid clouds, essentially. It's gonna melt your skin off. It's acidic in nature. Try not to run you over, Quiet. Airtime. I got this. Fast and Furious, that's me. So the wandering puppets, right?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
And it's this base once again. I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into here, but we'll see.
Please select a deployment point.
Okay.
Buddy has infiltrated our... The map has been updated.
That's the target.
Oh.
Talk.
Okay. Oh shit! Oh. Okay, hold on.
Detected.
Oh god. I was wondering if we could put them to sleep and like extract them, but I think we have to... Do we have to eliminate them then? Oh no, hang on, put them to sleep. Hang on, let me check the mission. Eliminate the wandering puppet soldiers. Seems their sanity is gone for good. So you don't think we'd be able to like extract them? It says 100%. May as well give it a shot. I don't know what that is gonna do though.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Is this gonna have negative consequences? Like, extracting these dudes? Don't know if that's really the best idea. But, there's 7 of them. I'm sure we'll find out what happens when we go back to Mother Base. It'll be an experiment. We'll just put them in the quarantine facility. Our very own skulls. Puppets.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to
Oh
us.
god.
Clouds approaching.
These quick, aren't they? So apparently their sanity, yeah, with their sanity being gone for good, I don't have high hopes about this. I about there being anything good from recruiting them, but who knows.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Anyone in here? Weird, there's a truck nearby. Oh, actually, you know what this is a good opportunity for? Doing like the double CQC thing. Alright, ready? Ah, it popped up with it before. Alright, hold on a second. It popped up with the combo thing before, but now it's decided not to. That's fine. An attempt was made. Now we extract. Don't you miss the early days of the early days of Peace Walker, where we could extract them indoors and they would just go through the roof and it would be fine? The good old days. Okay.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
How's that?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Side ops list updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
It's faded to black for the first time after completing a side op, which is weird.
Code Talker examined everyone here, and one of us is infected. It's quiet. It was our cutting-edge MRI that finally revealed it. But we don't know what language strain it is. Get back to base. Time for her to talk. You know the room number. 101.
Quiet's in the helicopter with me. We already touched on this. Quiet being okay, so this wasn't related to extracting the skulls. This was just completing a side op and then it getting this. And finding out that Quiet is infected. This is what I assumed, where we brought this up. Oh no. Don't interrogate her though. I don't think this is her fault. She was a puppet of Skullface. I don't think she still is. Couldn't she, like, disappear? Couldn't she, like, zap herself out of this? Not even a word.
You ready to talk? Anything?
Still living up to her name.
How about you drop the act? Who infected you with a parasite?
We can't let her talk. Put it back.
All I want's a name. That won't trigger anything. Tell me. Tell me! Your lungs have been barbecued. There's traces of rubbing alcohol in your alveoli. This was found adhered to your lungs, intact. A petal. White Star of Bethlehem. The hospital. Skullface sent you to Cyprus to kill Snake.
We knew that.
Inside and out. That should have been the end of it. But, all things considered, you look pretty damn healthy to me. We have Skullface to thank for that, right?
I was the only one capable of applying them to parasite therapy. Until he stole them from me.
Why are you here? Did Skullface send you? Or did you have your own score to settle with the boss?
I think so.
Refreshing? Salt water.
No! She'll die!
His life isn't yours to take. Enough.
That's enough. If she wanted to kill the boss, he'd already be dead. Same goes for us. She's had plenty of chances. She can talk. She's not here to kill anyone. We're wasting your time. It doesn't matter why she's here. She works for you now. She's in love with the legend.
Love has bloomed on the battlefield.
What makes you so sure?
I was the same way once.
What if she's a spy?
What if I'm a spy? For you? Go on all day.
Was that Ocelot saying he was also in love with the boss once?
Boss.
Let her go. She won't speak so she can't spread the infection.
Ooh, Miller. That man is so fucking hell-bent on revenge that he just won't see straight. Won't think straight either. He's been against Quiet since the very beginning. God, that was brutal.
Na begitin Tisch? Nicht nagetin Ti.
Oh.
Idiki plak anat e.
Oh.
English strain, baby.
Ako kode jisdesni.
Dne bizad.
Belagana. Gesnita. Tato be yasteta. Asetota. 同等にした同等にした
Well done, Quiet. There you go. I fucking knew it. I knew that there were like it was very easy to start piecing that together once you start getting all like the cassette tapes and it talks about things like the English strain, and then it fucking hits you like a truck, and you're like, this is why Quiet is not speaking, because she's got the fucking English strain, and she was initially, because she was sent to kill Snake at the hospital, failed, comes back, try again. Whether her capture was willing or not, or instructed, she changed her mind. She's like, I don't want to do Skullface's bidding. And I didn't think that she would for a second. I was like, nah, she would eliminate all these people single-handedly if she wanted to, and if she was asked to. So this is amazing that finally someone's able to actually speak to her in a language that she can talk in that is not English. And Code Talker, his skin reacts in the same way that Quiet's does, and I think that's an emotional response, because or like something when they're like focused, or like something triggers in them mentally that like makes that happen. Like, because Quiet, we haven't seen it happen with Quiet in a while, but it would pop up in her initial introductions, like when she was like flaring up. So yeah, she will never speak English. The reason there was to infect the boss. She never will. That's amazing. Why it's one of the real ones, that's for sure. And I love that there's always just the concept of love blooming on a battlefield, you know? They only refer to that specific quote and that sort of action in the first game in Metal Gear Solid, but you see love blooming on the battlefield in every single game, in every single one, in different ways.
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid. Boss, some of the kids we've been keeping here have escaped. We don't know why they ran off, but it may have something to do with Ralph's death. The intel teams are looking for them as we speak. I'll add information to your side ops list as it comes in. You need to locate and secure those kids. I'll try to find out what happened.
Well, at least we've got function recovery that can now handle children. Damn it, dude. Searching for the escaped kids. I don't think that they necessarily escaped, or they were run away. They were forced to run away by Eli, I bet. And there we go. We have another main mission that has popped up, which is extraordinary. Using the photograph in an informant's final transmission, retrieve the film canister containing classified information. This is weird. Eliminate the sniper known as Quiet, but it's the Cloaked in Silence mission. What's very interesting about this is we're not being given every mission to replay in this list. Like, for example, it starts with C2W and back up, back down, which is mission number 4 and 9. So I don't know if it's like there's a reason for them choosing the specific missions to replay, which raises more questions for this one. Also, the vibe that I'm getting here is we can just complete side ops and the yellow dotted main missions to progress the story, but these are just, I guess, sort of trying to extend the length of chapter 2, I think. So I don't think, at least right now, it doesn't seem that they are mandatory, but it's just playing it at a harder difficulty, which just like comes across to me as more so replay these missions again for fun on harder difficulty, which is more of like a side op mentality. And then searching for the escaped children is like a main mission mentality. I find the side ops and important side ops to be basically main missions. It's very strange when they try and separate them that way. We've got another cassette tape, which is what prompted the escape, though. I'm going to assume that it's Eli, but let's take a listen.
Boss, we gave Ralph, that kid who died in the accident, a burial at sea. The man in charge of that facility has been severely punished. But ever since, the kids have been acting strange. It's obvious they've lost their trust in adults. I was getting reports of them ignoring the staff, or getting insolent, and even violent. And a few days later, several of the kids did a disappearing act. They snuck into choppers and shipping containers and got off base. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. These kids were born in a war zone and forced to grow up as war fighters. If they're left alone, war is how they'll die. But I thought we showed them there are other reasons to live. I never liked having children on Mother Base. But the thought of them going back to the battlefield and picking up their old lifestyle is something I can't stomach. It makes me think of Chico, 9 years ago. We have to get those kids back. Hell, they know too much about our operation. I never expected even the kids to betray us.
I don't want to talk about your ex-wife, man. Don't get those subtitles away from me. Okay, let's God, man, let's just have a shower. It's been a while. I'm not getting stinky, and I think that's because I'm not spending a long time out in the field. Like, you return to the ACC, you go in between missions. So I have a feeling that boss is not going to get stinky again when I keep jumping in between missions. I actually need to just spend a very extended period of time outside, you know, to then make that happen again. I'm sure, like, I'll just try and stay clean from this point onwards, but I'm sure we can just obviously when we finish this playthrough, we will react to the trailers for this game, because people really want me to watch the trailers for this game. We will watch any cutscenes or interactions that I've missed. We'll check out anything that was like extra, missing, cut content, whatever that like you guys have brought up. We'll have a look at all of it. We'll go through the full reactions to make sure that we capture everything, everything and anything about this game, and like just Metal Gear Solid in general. You know.
Roger.
I haven't actually watched or reacted to any Metal Gear Solid trailer, so maybe we could do like a whole trailer watch through or react to every single Metal Gear Solid trailer, all the way from the beginning, which would be really fun, I think. Let's go. I'm going to extract the Mother Base soldier first, because we already had that one. Then we can look for the kids, and then we can... Oh, hello. And then we can come back to Mother Base to give Paz a photo. There he is. Watching us leave. Glad that Quiet still remains your buddy after all of this stuff. Yeah, I noticed that the flower, as soon as they showed it, I was like, yep, that would have been inside of her body, because those flowers were there. And the boss with his prosthetic hook arm, like, trying to grab it. It was a beautiful shot from the beginning of the game.
Mission list
I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid. Boss, some of the kids we've been keeping here have escaped. We don't know why they ran off, but it may have something to do with Ralph's death. The intel team's looking for them as we speak. I'll add information to your side ops list as it comes in. You need to locate and secure those kids. I'll try to find out what happened.
Something I haven't done yet, because I haven't been able to do it since, because this is our first Wandering Mother Base Soldier mission in a while, is apparently either staying in the cardboard box or playing this music and actually leaving it, like not acting straight away, has a different like type of scene. Like it plays out differently. So I'm going to be patient. We'll lure him over with the sound of the cassette tape, and then we'll see what happens from there. God, I haven't been fresh faced and not covered in blood in a while.
updated.
Alright, let's see. There you are, buddy.
Analysis
That's the
complete.
target. I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago. Bring him home, boss.
Here he comes. We're doing both at the same time, I guess, the box and the music.
Boss, I knew you
One of the guys out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us? Bring him home, boss.
Alright, sweet prince. Thank you. Amazing. Boss! I knew you were alive. That's great.
Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Now we just run around and listen to Sins of the Father, right? Where are we on the map? Visionary Jackal.
Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed.
Words that kill. It's so good. Guys, they're talking about the actual parasites.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Oh, that's anticlimactic. Why? It's like a straight shot. Alright. We go on foot. I'll save you the hassle. Alright, so the initial route that I took
We need to find those kids who escaped.
didn't work out.
Fighting's still the only way of life they know. If we don't bring them back, they'll just end up getting killed.
Analysis complete.
Yeah. Definitely did not go the best way. So I decided to just head on back to the ACC and drop back in again. This time a bit closer to the area.
Analysis complete.
Ooh, S rank, huh?
Placed.
I accept your generous offer. Please don't tell me you're going to get in that truck, though. You are going to get in that truck, though. That's not going to go through the window. Yep, didn't think so. But, just going to get rid of this. So you can't do anything about it. Oh, haha, distraction. Now you're asleep. Alright, now we're going to get rid of this again. Never mind. Hold on. Let's try this. The things we do for an S rank, huh? No, you're supposed to go to sleep now. You're supposed to go to sleep now. Punch that guy. Knock him out. There we go. Quiet helped me out. There we go. Alright. Things we do. Just to recruit people. We risk it all. I'm not letting that S rank dude drive away from me. I'm surprised he didn't blow up and die in the truck crash.
Subject on board. Leave the rest of us.
Quiet's got my back though. Oh, I'm going to die here.
Marker removed.
There's just a few people here, isn't there? This is a bit painful. Let's just go inside. The kid's got to be inside somewhere, right? I wonder if he'll be in Code Talker's area downstairs. Seems like it might be the likely option.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Oh, 0%. Oops.
Extraction
Hang on.
failed. Analysis complete.
He's coming too.
Analysis
Roger that.
complete.
Alright, I guess we'll go this way. I'm just trying to kick a dude awake so I can find out where he saw a child. Hey, you see a kid around here?
Talk.
The map has been updated.
Got him. And he was not downstairs, he was literally right here. We ran past him without even realizing. Now he's a prisoner. Dude with a riot shield, like right there. We just avoid him, I guess. Alright, kid. You're out of here. Goodbye. Go back home.
Side op completed. Side ops list updated.
Okay, subject is in.
Extraction of
We got a cassette tape as well. Interesting.
weather will clear shortly.
Alright, time to go back to the ACC. And we'll have a listen to this tape. It's side ops. They can be messy. We got an S-rank soldier. That's all that matters, guys. Doesn't matter how smooth the mission goes as long as I am beefing up my staff members. I should probably check and see the staff management. I should check the guys that we got recently. Because I don't know if like any of these people could have been the any of these people could have been the infected people. Maybe these guys? But they all look pretty normal to me, so maybe they just don't automatically get added to our team. And they're just gone. Or they're not even in the sick bay. Interesting. I guess we'll never know what truly happened to them. They might just be okay now that they're on our on Mother Base. Alright, but yeah, we got a... Press the wrong button. We got a cassette tape from extracting one of the kids. The children escaped, the mastermind.
Snake, you remember the White Mamba? Of course,
Eli.
we've been going by Eli since we brought him on base. He was the leader of the child soldier unit we took out of that village and into our protection. Well, according to the kids you brought back here, all the escapees were especially close to Eli. There's reason to suspect he's behind all 6 escapes. We've already detained him. I'll be questioning him shortly.
Wait. You'll be?
Ocelot.
You're incapable of taking an impartial stance with those kids. Question them all you want. It'll get you nowhere.
Ocelot, you get too many kicks from your art of interrogation.
It's not a matter of art. It's about quick, minimal strokes of psychological warfare. That's what gets the answers. And it's the best way to keep both questioner and subject safe. The risks only increase the more an interrogation drags on. At that point, it causes as much pain to the inflictor as the inflicted.
Like I said, too many kicks.
What I'm trying to tell you is we need quick results. Otherwise, it'll be too little, too late.
I know that.
And besides, I know the subject. I won't go overboard with a kid.
Forget it. You're not needed. Snake, we'll want to question the other kids too. Be sure to bring them all back.
So, 6 escapes. I'm told that there are 6 escapes. Except we have only got 2 so far. Maybe you get the first 2 and then you'll get more. We'll go to the oil field
Select a landing zone.
to get this one. And then maybe it'll open up more, or we go back to Mother Base and we'll get some information from Eli. But I knew Eli would be responsible. It makes too much sense. So we'll go find this other child. Bring him back home. And see if we can go from there. We unlocked another Wandering Mother Base soldier mission as well, because we did get another photo. So we're gonna be, that'll be our second photo to give to Paz in chapter 2. So we can pay her a visit, probably after getting this this kid. Then we'll go get the other Mother Base soldier, and then bring that photo back so we can do both of them. And then eventually, maybe we'll get something out of it. The chapter 2 flash, like, the chapter 2 trailer did give us, it did give us some stuff, so, with Paz. It's only a matter of time. Wonderful, we have a gunship to worry about. That's always fun. Alright, need to be careful with the gunship. So...
Boss, you need to find those kids who escaped. Fighting's still the only way of life they know. If we don't bring them back, they'll just end up getting
Analysis
killed.
complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been
we'll
updated.
interrogate the guard. Hopefully he should have the prisoner location. Wait for this helicopter to make a pass. God damn, that was close. Ooh.
The enemy sniper. Stay low
Jesus.
and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Please select a deployment point.
I can't even see the sniper.
The map has been updated.
Okay. So many fake dummies. Here we go. I love that that just went right up in front of the helicopter. The helicopter is unable to, like, identify it as, like, a problem.
And clouds approaching.
Oh, that's a real soldier. Yep. I was like, it's a real one. Oh, I want the music tape. Not the kid. Give me the music tape first. Thank you. Quiet life. Quiet life. Alright, let's get out of here. I'm trying to drop this kid on the ground, please. Get him out of here. You got him.
Boss, about the kids. It appears there's a movement among them to organize against us. I can think of only one person who's behind that. I'll continue to look into it.
Okay, so they're trying to organize against us. That's very interesting. Excuse me, rude children. It appears you are trying to form an uprising against the big boss. Do not do that. Eli's explanation is a tape that we've just got, however, so let's take a listen to it. 2 tapes. Children escape. Oh, the music tape, right. Right, left. Alright, Eli's explanation.
Snake, about the escaped children. Eli confessed. The way he tells it, They wanted to go back to the battlefield. Don't rob them of their freedom, he said. If you bring them all back, there will be consequences. Next, he'll be asking for our surrender.
Consequences? What consequences?
No idea. That's all I have for now.
You're too attached to those kids. Stop protecting Eli.
Listen to yourself.
Let me question him, and we'll get some real answers.
Not necessary. I'll report as and when.
I see, as Big Boss, I would let Ocelot go for it. I just find the relationships here so fascinating that it's Liquid Snake as a child with Ocelot, who he's going to eventually buddy up with in Metal Gear Solid 1 on Shadow Moses, and also Miller, who he's then going to grow up to impersonate to full Solid Snake in that same mission. Like these, just like the relationships here are so very interesting to me. Of seeing like their origins and these characters that knew each other beforehand, and there we go. We've got like the other kids as well to look for. So that's going to be taking up a period of my time at this point. So I'm going to return to Mother Base, go to the medical platform, so we can go say hello. Go say hello to Pass, give her another photo. Then it looks like I've got some more kids to rescue. I'll probably just like run through that and bring them all back home. See what Eli has to say about it at the end of the day.
It's raining.
Wow, she just like floats down in the rain. I feel like I should be watching this on a private browser, away from all of you, in my spare time. Why are we still here? Just to play in the rain. To play with the water. On Mother Base. I can still feel the splashes on my arm and my leg. This is the funniest shit. I want to know what's going through Kojima's mind when he writes a scene like this. Yes. Okay.
Clients approaching.
Yes. All right. That's that one. Let's go to the medical platform. Which is what we came here for. God. So interesting.
Please select a delivery point.
Kojima was like, just, you know, talking to his team. He's like, alright guys, so in this scene, it's raining when you get back to Mother Base, and so Quiet, she drinks in the rain, right? Because photosynthesis and skin and food, and she doesn't need to eat, so then what she does is she jumps out of the plane, right? And then she takes her stockings off so she can fully let her skin breathe, right? And then she just rolls around and she gets all like glistening, and she's just like rolling around and having a great time, and then I'm just like, okay. Sorry. Oh my god, I love it. It's just very, very interesting stuff. Oh, hang on, sorry, I've just all of a sudden lost my game. I think my Elgato just decided to say good night, sweet prince. There we go. It did indeed. That was sudden. Usually it's not that sudden. It's been a little while since that has happened. God, it's always so jarring. Alright, we need to go up the other thing. Pulled me out of the moment. I haven't had the Elgato do that in quite some time, so I thought I was safe. I was like, oh.
Oh, Snake.
Hello, I have a photo for you.
What is it, Snake? Gallo Pinto! Amanda and I taught Cecile how to make it. She picked it up so fast. I was really surprised. I guess Parisians have cooking in the blood. Are Cecile and Amanda doing okay? I wonder why they haven't visited. Ugh. My head, it hurts.
We're getting there. We're getting there. She's like, why haven't they visited in a while? I don't know. Amanda's kind of mourning the loss of her brother. The
real me.
Hang on, was Chico her brother or a nephew? I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long. Chico, mourning the loss of Chico 9 years ago. And Cecile. God knows what Cecile's up to these days, right? No idea. Okay. Let's head back into the chopper. Ooh, we got another cassette tape, actually. New Par's diary entry.
So, as if putting me on stage to sing was not enough, Miller even expected me to write the lyrics. He even said he had thought of the title already. Love Deterrence. As if he had done the hard part. Deterrence? Love? Deterrence? Deterrence is... It is when nuclear weapons prevent war, right? I do not see how love fits in. But it was too late to complain, so I just sat and listened to the tape of Miller's backing guitar and the professor's melody over and over again. I guess the melody is more Professor Galvez's creation than Miller's, but on the whole, I think it is actually a good song. First, it goes for your heart with a sorrowful opening, but then you feel revitalized as the song goes on. Miller grew up in post-war Japan. Maybe that is why the song has that kind of balance. Long ago, I heard some Japanese music called enka, I think. It sounded this way, but I wonder why it has to sound sad in the first place. Miller called it Love Deterrence. Doesn't that mean he had a love song in mind? All I see of Miller and women is the way he fools around with a lot of them at once. But maybe he has had his heart broken too.
Roger.
And what about me? I found myself thinking about Chico and Snake as well. I know Chico has a crush on me.
She knew.
Naturally, he should come to mind. But why Snake? He saved me, and I feel indebted to him. But I thought that was all he meant to me. Why does my heart flutter when I think of him? It is embarrassing to be unable to control these emotions. There has to be a way to suppress it, to forget it. But maybe that is what love deterrence is? With that thought in mind, I went to my desk and began to write and write. Just 3 days left until Peace Day.
There you go. 3 days left until Peace Day. Get back on the helicopter and prep for our next mission. Something I just remembered that I was actually developing last time, which should be done by now, is the headband. So I can finally put the headband on. I can't wait to see what it looks like. It's gonna be great. So we'll try and put the headband on. Rep that classic look. We put the Naked Snake sneaking suit on too. Go full MGS3. Really curious to see what's going to happen if Paz's mind like snaps back to the present. It's going to be an interesting one. Okay, so I'll go for Mother Base Soldier, and then I'll go for the kids. Oh, it's not there. I've actually noticed something about this, by the way, is when I've been going through my side ops list, sometimes I'll do a side op, and one that was available before is not available again, and I have to do another side op or something, and then it will show up. This has happened a couple of times, but we had Mother Base Soldier 7 ready to go, and it's not there. So now I have to do something else, and then it might be there, which is really strange.
Heading to Afghanistan.
Ooh, dropping into the ruins. Sure, we're about to just have some. Yes, I'm sure we're about to have people, guards at the post, get upset that we're about to drop in on top of them. Oh my god! Yay! It's so good, and the little horn poking out the top. It's been so long since I've seen a bandana on Snake. It's literally been just the longest time. It just brings everything all together, you know what I mean? Look at that. Just brings it all together. Amazing. Alright. Good old Snake. Got the bandana on. Haven't developed anything more for Quiet yet in terms of her outfits, but it's only to literally paint her like silver and gold, so I think I can go without it. But I'm going to go run through these side ops now, so we'll get the escaped children, and then we'll get the Mother Base Soldier and see what happens from there. Well, I don't know how he got up there, but he probably got chased up here by a fucking bear. I'm going to take a good bet and say that he got chased by a bear. And we can try and put this fucking... Why can't Quiet help me with fucking bears? Quiet, help me with the bear, please. Fuck. Potentially I should have brought the Riot SMG. It's been a little while since we've had to use one.
Fire.
Go, Quiet. Oh, nice. Wonderful. We haven't even visited the animal platform yet. Should probably do that. Oh, wow. Quiet can one-shot him. Maybe my sniper can do that too, and I've just been trying it with the pistol. But that's great. How the hell did you climb up here, buddy? Huh? You know how to climb through cracks too? Let me get you back home, buddy. Speak. I'll just place you here. Get you out of here. Goodbye.
Side ops list updated.
Okay, subject is in.
Extraction arrived.
Another cassette tape. So we get a cassette tape each time we complete a rescue.
Boss, we found weapons in the children's section of the living quarters. As you know, weapons are strictly off limits. We've got some rule breakers. The weapons we found were handmade. Blades ground out of knives and forks, a couple of bow guns built out of scrap,
wow,
and explosives made using detergents. And get this, the explosives were tightly packed with nails. The kids put the blame on, you guessed it, Eli. I guess that's what he meant by consequences.
I questioned him about it, but this time he claimed they want to be put out on missions. Send us to the battlefield, he says.
Miller, enough is enough. You've protected him too much already. It's my turn to question him.
Protected?
What Eli's doing is issuing a threat. Comply with my demands or I'll respond with force. But it'll be war at this rate. Forks and soap aren't gonna kill us, but some of them will end up dead. Is that what you want? Now, I hate to say it, but they want to be on the battlefield. It's time you gave up this fantasy.
Eli, he said they'd rise up against us if we bring the last kid back.
There, you see? Ignore his demands. Don't let him return to quarters. That attitude is contagious. We lose control over them for good.
For the time being, we've confiscated those handmade weapons. We're bumping up security and the number of psychiatric counselors. As for Eli,
he needs some very special care.
Solitary?
Well, we can't leave him in contact with the other kids. If you won't do it, I will. Boss, keep working on extracting those kids.
He needs his father! Get him his dad! Alright, let's return to the ACC and, again, run through these children. Get the other ones. So we've got to get 4 and 5, and then there'll be consequences once we get the last one. There were 6 escapes, so there should be a 6th mission that will pop up probably at the end. Next child. Extracted. He out of here. There he goes.
Side ops list updated.
Okay, subject is in.
Will of the Child Soldiers and Eli's Objective tapes. So let's return to the ACC and take a listen to them. Let's see what it's all about, huh? 2 tapes for the rescue of 1 child this time. And then we can move on to number 5. Okay, so Will of the Child Soldiers, Eli's Objective.
The kids you brought back to base have laid out the situation. They all escaped to each of their home villages, or were trying to get home, and lost their way. Not that homesickness is gonna explain everything we've seen.
Each of their home villages? They were trying to raise troops for the rebellion.
You really think these kids have an armed uprising in them?
You read the report of the security team member who had a rock thrown at him. There'll be a riot if we don't do something. And Miller, this is because you didn't act fast enough.
Fine. I'll admit you were right this time.
Seal off the kids' quarters from outside contact before it's too late.
All right.
Eli said his rebellion would start when the last kid is brought back, right? You better be ready to meet him head on if it really happens.
Yeah.
You should have left it to me in the first place.
Boss, they're just kids. We have a responsibility to see that those kids make it. It's not about feeling protective or the pros and cons. I hate kids. That's exactly what I heard from the people who raised me. People who abandoned me, more like. That's the spark that kept me going, you know?
I wanted to show those adults what I was made of. Wanted to get back at them one day. But before I knew it, I was all grown up. Never saw it coming. All of a sudden, people treated me as an adult. Some adult I turned out to be. But I feel like if my life had been different, if the adults I knew had been different, I could have grown up better. Yeah, that's it, all right. I wanted to use those kids to test that theory. That's all this was. From their point of view, I'm no different from the assholes who gave me a hard time. When this is all blown over, I'll talk it out with them. If that's still possible. Boss, there are still kids out there. Bring them back safe.
Boss, it's me. Eli's revealed what he wants. He wants to speak with you. With Big Boss. He just said, bring your mother here. Eli's too smart for his own good. No way to tell what he's thinking. All we know for sure is his men are important to him. That means we can use the escaped kids as leverage in any negotiation. Once you've brought the last one back, I'll interrogate him. If the kids do rise up, we'll meet them full force. End of story. I didn't want things to turn out like this. We could have prevented it, but it's too late now. If Eli means to take this all the way, he's gonna force us to do the same. Boss, go get that last kid.
He knows! He knows it's his father! How fucked is that? He fucking knows. That's insane. Now it's saying it wants us to get the last kid, but it said there was 6 escapes. So, I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but that's fine. I'm going to get this mother base soldier first, and then we will get this, and then we'll get this last child.
Deploying.
In terms of it being the last child, I'm wondering if we go back to Mother Base before, because he's like, he wants to see Big Boss. Bring my father here, he says. How is he aware? He must have been told before he made his way through to Africa. You want to tell me about your brother, Eli? You want to talk to me about David? And then I can give him this bandana and I'll put it on his head and go, you're Metal Gear Solid now. So we're pretty much on top of the... Oh, there he is! Under the bridge! I was like, oh, we're pretty much on the top of him. There he is. Oh. I've come a long way. Is this going to deteriorate in the water? I survived. Oh.
Is it really you?
Nice. My box got destroyed at the perfect time.
Out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us?
Sorry, so I've got to put you... I've got to just drag you out here. Yeah! Nice. You're gonna survive that throw, are you? Are you gonna survive that throw, are you? Sir, I need you to go to sleep. There we go. Throw him around a bit. I was scared that if I grabbed him and let him go, he'd go back into being in a hostile state.
Side op completed.
You gonna extract him?
Extraction arrived.
Memento photo, birthday party. Return to the ACC. Saves me a whole bunch of time. Obviously, I've been doing this for ages. I'm glad that this is like, it does keep things at a checkpoint. Very nice for me.
Side ops list updated.
Database, right? Let me have a look at these last two photos. There's 4 more to get. Gallo Pinto and the birthday party. Okay, 4 more. And yeah, it looks like we'll just be able to run through them at this point. We will get there. Alright, let's get this kid.
Please select a landing zone.
Oh, you're really gonna make me do that, aren't you? Alright, we're dropping in hot.
Deploying.
Yeah, I didn't expect there to be as many escaped kids as I thought. Well, the plan was, oh yeah, we'll just do the 2 missions to start. And then we will do the main mission, but this has become its little main quest of its own of getting these kids back, and then we'll have to challenge Eli as well. So I wanted to do that Mother Base mission first, because we'll go back to Mother Base after this, see what's going on with Eli, and then see Paz and give her that photo at the same time to be efficient as possible. Let's get dropped right in there, shall we? I think there's going to be... I think there will be a turret that I'm going to have to blow up. There it is. Right there. Did you just watch that body just fly? Is there anybody even here? Oh, maybe that wasn't a body. It was a. Oh, it's the yeah, it's the inflatable things. Is anybody even here? Oh. Well, all right then. Why is no one here? It's weird that it tells us that it's going to be a hot zone to drop into, but then there's no one here.
Fighting's still the only way of life they know. If we don't bring them back, they'll just end up getting killed.
Why is there no one here? Just the inflatable dudes. The Intel team reported inaccurately. They're like, "Oh yeah, the place is packed." Little did they know. Very curious now. Like, I'm assuming the kid will be in here. Hang on, real quick, while I'm here. It's quiet aiming at. Grab that. Oh, hang on.
A new complete.
Oh shit, hang on a minute. There's a bunch of wandering puppets here, that's why. Alright, that makes sense. That's why the place didn't get put on high alert. There's still soldiers here, but they're... I guess these would be... Oh no. I'm probably thinking too far into it. I'm trying to connect it to like an event where the skulls were here the last time that we did a mission here to get the killer bee. And maybe these are like the leftover soldiers. Potentially. We can't fucking interrogate them, can we? Gonna follow the trails. Oh, God. I'm just gonna follow the trail of these guys. I would say trail of skulls. Oh, it's right here. follow the bodies. Follow the skulls. Here we go. Alright, your turn to come out. Oh, hang on. I guess there's just a rock in the way. We don't want you to hit that rock on your way down, do we? Alright. Goodbye, safe travels. Oh my god, that's the second time I've almost just broken my legs on a drop.
Boss, I have a quick report for you here. We've discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the quarantine platform. It's coming from testing equipment we installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there, but we'll evacuate them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich.
There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just need to seal off the testing equipment.
I've dispatched a security team to get the researchers out. I'll keep you updated.
Okay. Well, let's go back to Mother Base. Radioactive stuff. What is going on? Everything at Mother Base is always going off. Can't catch a break, can we?
Boss, I have a quick report for you here. We've discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the
and we didn't get a cassette tape with that either.
We installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there, but we'll evacuate them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich.
There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just need to seal off the testing equipment.
Heading to Mother Base.
I've dispatched a security team to get the researchers out.
Alright, back to Mother Base, where we've got fucking radioactive leak, Mother Base photo, and Eli being a little bitch. So let's see. We got Code Talker as well. Little do these guys know that we could do
DJ na stoi do aschad yagishta.
Hey.
Eyes on Kazuhira. A message from the parasites.
Ooh. What the fuck? Eyes on Kazuhira. A message from the parasites. Dude, what the hell is going on in Mother Base? Everything's going fucking weird. Do I have to leave and come back to then trigger another cutscene now? Because I thought that was not the cutscene that I expected. Yeah, let's just go to see Paz first. And then I guess I might leave
a delivery point
and then come back and we'll see if that changes anything. The parasites have delivered a message. So much stuff going on at once right now. It's Quiet hanging out. She is. Alright. And she's listening to Quiet Life. Amazing. Quick, run. Give another photo to Paz. It's an actual cutscene. She's fucking bleeding. Oh, fuck.
Paz.
Snake?
She's been acting differently lately. Before, she'd respond to conversation. Just as long as it didn't conflict with her timeline. But now nothing gets a reaction from her.
What happened?
No idea. Well, Miller did go and tell her that Skullface is dead. If anyone should want revenge against him, it would be her. But it's not exactly like an angel of peace to cheer for someone's death. Now is it? There, take a look at this too.
See it? Right there.
The wound is open.
Yeah, it was all closed up and then it went back to this.
But why?
The medic has no idea how it happened. He figures it must have been self-inflicted.
Well, we got an update, didn't we? Why would Miller, don't you think that that is like the most sensitive information that you could give to someone who's literally living in their own fucking weird timeline? They're having a dissociative disorder and you're like, by the way, Skullface is dead. Remember what that guy did to you 9 years ago? Remember what he did to Chico? Remember what he made Chico do to you? Remember all of those tapes? Remember how fucked up that was? Thanks. Good job, Miller. Well, I guess we'll give her a photo when she's feeling a little bit better. If she ends up feeling better, because we're not even gonna know at this point. That's great. Maybe I'll just check again. Let's just go back in and we'll see. Okay. She got cleaned up real quick, but she's still lying down.
My stomach.
Not sure what to think about that. for now. The next thing to do is to now leave Mother Base and then to immediately return, because I'm expecting some sort of resolution or cutscene related to in relation to the Eli stuff. So I guess it just like it needs to trigger certain cutscenes in sequence as to not avoid things or miss out on stuff. See, we can like travel to a different platform while we're in here, but I'm not sure if this will. I'm not sure if that will cause a cutscene or not. So we'll just play it safe. We will play it safe. Just go back to the ACC. Maybe Eli and Big Boss Dad can have a conversation. You can see what this is all about. And be like, son, I know that you think you have defective genes. You've got the weak genes, but it turns out you had the strongest after all, my guy. Okay, return to Mother Base.
A landing zone.
If it doesn't give us a cutscene, I will be confused. Here we go. No? Actually, no. I think this is the normal Mother Base approach. No, this is the normal Mother Base approach. Well, we rescued the last kid. What do we do now? That's weird, right? Because we rescued the kid and we didn't even get like a cassette tape about it, and I thought we would. I just got my people welcoming me back, but that's it. I haven't had a normal introduction to Mother Base in the longest time. Every time I've come here recently, it's been a cutscene. Hello, everybody. Good night, everybody. Okay, well, I guess maybe we'll get some resolution to the children's stuff another time. So I will wrap this one up. I'll wrap this one up this time. We'll bring this one to a close, and then next time we will make certain to check out the extraordinary main mission.
Boss, we need you to get back up.
Oh, hang on. The extraordinary main mission, and we'll get more Mother Base soldiers and stuff like that. But this dragged on for longer than I thought it would, because I was not expecting 5 children to be rescued. Just also a bit confused as to why I'd never got any follow-up once we got the last kid. It's a bit weird. But regardless, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching this one, and we'll find out what more story we get next time. Eyes on Kazuhira.